Oh, Jesus
There he
Christ.
is. There he is. Ray, is your jersey wardrobe right next to you in the podcast studio?
No, so I prepare for these shows and I bring some outfits
That
down.
was a dig at you, Bill.
Why? Why was that a dig at Bill?
Because he doesn't prepare.
It's not true. I prepare all the time.
He's just smart enough to go
When
off
did
the-
you start?
That's
When did you
fine.
read this email? Right now.
When he sent it, I got it right after
I mean,
he
to be
sent it.
fair, I
Oh.
sent the email like 10 minutes before we did our first show.
I know, but still.
I mean, there's not a lot of headlines this week or this week.
Yeah, basically the headline is Patriots fucking blow. Red Sox are signing everybody we don't want, and everyone else can go to hell. But, Ray, I do see you haven't made a lot of progress on the podcast studio over the weekend.
It looks a little sanded, though. Did you have some fun sanding?
Yep. I had some fun sanding.
You
Yep.
got to put
Did
some
you-
carpet down or just leave the concrete?
I like your mother. I might just leave the concrete nice and bare. Bill, funny story for you.
Yeah, now I remember it.
So I worked Saturday. I got up very early, 4 a.m. I was at work, and all of a sudden I heard beep beep on my phone, and I looked. Messaging me at 5 a.m. in the morning.
Gonna have to beep that.
Well, Bill's mom texted me at 5 a.m. in the morning.
Uh-huh.
I said I have a relationship with your mother like this, Bill.
Did you send a dick pic back, or what was
better
it?
relationship than I got.
We had some conversation for about a half hour.
Oh, that's good. Oh,
Might
that's
be
good.
seeing her in December.
Nice.
Good for you.
Nice. You guys catch
I'll be
up.
seeing your mom later. She's gonna
Bill.
bring me back to life.
Get a old splash.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to beep that.
Yeah, whatever. We're in it. We're in it. That's it. No more fucking beeps, all right? Just a cold open, couple beeps, and then
It's fine.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Bill, you got anything you want to get off your chest while we're in the beep game?
Now I'm good.
Okay, wow, that's good. Good for
Well, how was your night last night, Bill?
It was long and
No.
really hungover today.
Now, Rich and I are obviously the married two of the group.
you. Hmm.
You did give me some information that you did take a nice young lady home with you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. What kind of pickup lines do you use with these young ladies?
You know, just my face.
Do you just whip your dick out and just be like, hey, this is
Yeah,
it?
I just usually whip it out in front of everybody at the Halloween party. Be like, hey, who wants to suck this tonight? Come with me. And whoever raises their hand, yeah.
See, that doesn't surprise Rich and I because we were at the Strange Brew when you did whip out your dick in front of everyone.
Yeah, no, we've
So,
seen that happen.
I don't know if you're lying or telling the truth right now.
No, he's lying. Obviously, he doesn't want to give away his secrets. But I think that it would be very educational to some of the listeners who we know are single through some fault of their own, maybe no fault of their own. But with a man with such stature in the sexual game, you know, maybe you can provide the listeners with a little bit of advice, maybe a little bit here and there, maybe just a little bit of advice here and there.
Nothing special. Got a nice ride home. Went home, fell asleep. You know, that was my evening.
Okay.
Just
So
drank
if you
till
were
like 2
so
a.m.
last question, if you were to say very initially approach a woman that you don't know at a party, what would be maybe your first move or something that you would say? Would there be any type of conversation, or would what I've heard you say before in the past, and correct me if I'm wrong, is more drinky bitch?
Less talking, more drinking.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, that usually works the best.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
being mean to a woman will get them to fall to your every needs and desires.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm not giving away my secrets. Come on.
I would say first secret is find some really trashy hoes and you know, invest yourself into that community, because
Those are my favorite kind.
got it. Especially the ones that ask for money after.
Yeah, what do you think? I'm going broke. Boogers ain't cheap.
We got to get those insurance checks back rolling in, Bill. We got to get you on the
Dude.
bad wing plan again.
Yeah. Yeah, I got home and called a couple of hookers, and they came over and we had some fun, and then I went to sleep.
Nice. Okay,
That
that's
was
a Billy
the
Bedward
night.
Saturday night. That's not bad.
But I
And-
feel terrible today.
And he's dragging today. So you know what? Let's go ahead and get into Monday headlines. This is Simple Mind Sports Show. Monday headlines, November 1st. Welcome to the show.
Rich?
Yes.
It's
November 2nd. Sorry, my bad. I don't do dates good. Okay, I don't do weed good, and I don't do dates good. Those are my two bugaboos. All right.
Gotcha.
Sorry.
No worries.
Look how tired Bill is. He can't even fucking shit on me. He can't even
He doesn't
hop
care.
on. Can't even hop on the pile. He's just like, let's get this fucking over with.
Yep.
My eyes are too blurry and cross-eyed to even read the email, so we'll spell it out for you with Ebonics as we get into this.
Would it be easier? Hold on. Would it be
Was
easier?
that racist?
No.
Ebonics is not racist.
Would it be easier if
It
Rich
might
just
be.
sent
I
you
honestly, I
numbers?
don't know. I thought it was like an actual
Like the
program that
Matrix?
we use.
I have no idea. That's why I was asking.
Yeah, if my screen was just like green letters and symbols rolling down, can you read the Matrix? Are you the
I
one?
can. Yeah,
He is the one. He's Neo.
I'm Neo.
All right.
Yeah.
Here we go, Neo. Ray, Aaron, Pam, jot that down. Make another picture that we can't show anymore. All right, Patriots, Bills. That sucked, huh? That fucking stunk. All right, let me hold on. Let me roll through my game notes that I had here. So we're going to touch on this more tomorrow on Fat Tuesday, Everything Patriots. We're really going to dive into the depression that is the end of the Patriots season that happened on Sunday in their loss to the Buffalo Bills. Obviously, the biggest thing was Cam Newton fumbling. What was even the yard line? Like the 7 or something? Like 8 or 7 yard line?
Right around the 10. I think it was right around the 10
I thought he might have got into it. Maybe fumbled before he got there. But as they were going to get into field goal range, 24-21, fumbles the ball away and lets the Bills get over the hump of beating the New England Patriots in Buffalo for the first time. And how many? They're throwing
9.
stats up in 9 games.
9 years. 9 years.
9 years, which was 9 games because they play 1 game a year, right? Woof. Woof, 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 woof.
I don't do words or numbers well.
I know. I will say this, like we talked about on Friday's show, I thought that the Patriots offense, especially more so in the second half, came out and looked, I don't even want to say respectable because it was so hard to watch them try to function, but they did. More so than against Denver and against the 49ers. I mean, they did put up 21 points. They got some possessions strung together in the second half. The big things that killed them were the penalties in the first half. Cam started with a delay of game, big holding call on Tooney, which ended up being like a 45-yard fucking penalty. Jacoby Myers, with a big 20-something
Mason had
yard
a
catch.
legal hands to the face.
Legal hands to the
another
face.
First down.
Jacoby Myers had a false start.
Yep, false start. So very uncharacteristics, even for this team this year, one of the least penalized teams in the league, and then you go into Buffalo and do that and really diminish your chances to score in the first half, which obviously put you in a position where you were in the second half. But before we start shitting completely down their throats, did anything out of this game make you have any confidence about the Patriots at all? Taking into consideration, we already agree that the playoffs are probably out of the picture. Obviously, the division is gone. This probably ended their season. But is there anything that we can be confident about? Because we're all going to watch the games moving forward. Can it be enjoyable for us at least? Can they pick up another 5-7 wins? Can they go 8-8, 9-7, and be somewhat respectable? Did anything come out of this game that makes you think that, Raymond?
Yeah, watching Damian Harris's Hall of Fame career starting to go off, just like sweetness, having his 100-yard game. He looked good. I mean, he looked tough. He
running
was hard. He was running very hard. I mean, that's like the one bright spot of that offense. And that means we can get rid of Sony Michel this offseason and say, see the fuck later, because could be your valuable.
Yep, viable's good or valuable. That's all good. And unlike Sony Michel, the holes that he was hitting, they were there, but they weren't like
they closed quick.
I mean, he got skinny, and on the touchdown run, he broke that arm tackle on the shoestrings. Type of tackle we see James White go down 9 times out of 10. As much as I love James White, it's just like that dude gets touched on the foot, he goes down. But yeah, Harris Sweetness looked real good. Couple really nice runs, some spin moves there. Burkhead still running the ball hard and still not injured, which is
surprising. I think this is he said his personal best playing his 7th straight game.
Yeah,
without an injury. So congratulations to Rex Burkhead.
But Bill, wasn't it? I mean, the first half. Look, they came out and intentionally started 4 wide, threw the ball to Cam's right to Jacoby Myers. They looked like, against all conventional wisdom, they tried to get Cam going in the throwing game again in the first half. Obviously, they ran the ball, and they didn't throw the ball once on third down the entire game. But it wasn't until the second half when they started using Harris and really committing to the run that we saw this offense start to move. So can they do that? Can McDaniels just fucking do that for the rest of the season? Is that something we can look forward to? Or, like, what's the deal? Why do they continue to try and get Cam to throw the ball?
You got to hope that you can continue to run because you're a run-based team. Excuse me. I mean, this is your bread and butter is to run the football. I think your offensive line is one of the strengths of your team, and you're seeing why. I think Harris had 16 carries, 101 yards, 22-yard touchdown, first career touchdown too. And I thought he ran great. And again, getting David Andrews back is a huge, huge upgrade to this offensive line now. I mean, these are quarterback on the offensive line, and you're seeing it. The holes that Harris was there. I mean, he was running all day. And it's a shame that they're not giving him more than 16 touches a game because he deserves to get more carries. I think he's a better runner than Rex Burkhead. I like Rex Burkhead more of like the change of pace back, which you kind of seen him. But I feel like the way Harris is playing, like you got to try to ride him for the rest of the year. Could you get back to 8-8? Yeah, you probably can. So I mean this is what you're going to see going forward. Control the game, run the football, and then pray to God Cam doesn't fuck it up with his shitty throws. I mean, because the defense is terrible. You saw Buffalo 190 yards on the ground.
Well, is the defense terrible? Let's define the defense being. To the front seven is terrible. The run defense is terrible. J.C. Jackson is tied for the lead in the NFL with interceptions. Their secondary led to a lot of, if not sacks, big hits on Josh Allen. Even if he completed some of those, I took that away from the first half. Yeah. He was taking some shots, and obviously the big defensive stuff they had after they came down and they tied the game. Josh Uche, we got an Uche sighting. Got to the quarterback, and Winovich got to the quarterback. That's all coverage. I mean, their secondary is still tops in the league, even without Defensive Player of the Year. Overrated Stephon Gilmore should be traded tomorrow. Their secondary, I still think, is very, very good. Obviously, the front seven is putrid. So, I don't know. 24 points is 24 points. It's not that much.
No, and you saw him kind of step up again in the end of the fourth quarter, hold him to a field goal. Because, I mean, you saw him driving, and you're like, all right, Patriots just came down, tied the game at 21, and you're like, all right, fuck. Because I didn't think Cam could muster up another drive where he was going to score a touchdown, and you saw it. You saw the drive. You were in field goal range, and then you fucking hold the football out as far away from your body as you can and get, like, punched out. So, I mean –
Deion Sanders on the return.
I didn't think it, so it's like, all right, cool. We got him to a field goal, so at least Cam could get him into field goal range, which he did. I just didn't. I thought he would have been smart enough to not put the ball out there like that with the game on the line. You're under 40 seconds left in the game. Control the football. You were going to score a touchdown there too. There's no doubt in my mind the way you were running.
Oh yeah,
you ran the whole drive. You ran right through.
As soon as they got in the second half. Even dummy Cam was able to skirt into the end zone relatively untouched on his touchdown. So they had figured something out in the run game, and, yeah, he blew it. I mean, at what point – I don't know. Cam is not a young player. What is the benefit of sticking with Cam Newton on this team? And I'm going to make a lot of people angry, and I know this is a very popular opinion, but I think you're with me on this, Bill. Brian Hoyer can do what Cam Newton did today. We saw him do it against Kansas City. He coughed the ball up and cost them the game. He did exactly what Cam Newton did today. The same thing, and he moved the ball better. He looked better.
The drives were better against Kansas City. The one before halftime where he fumbled, and then the one coming out of halftime, or the other way around when he took the sack before halftime, and then the one coming right out. 2 13-play drives where you left points on the board for stupid plays. But Brian Hoyer could make this team 8-8. He can at least throw the football, and I think it adds a different aspect that Cam can't do because he can't throw a football.
Sorry to interrupt you, Ray. I'm working this through my head as we speak right now. Are they so dedicated to Cam Newton this year, thinking to next year, because they know Jarrett Stidham is not the answer. They know they won't have the answer next year. And if they can get Cam Newton back to a somewhat of a formidable quarterback, then they can have a plan next year to start transitioning the new guy in, whether it's through the draft or if you go pick up a free agent or you start throwing shit against the wall. At least they have a plan. As we speak, I'm thinking that through my head, because what else is the reason to keep playing Cam Newton?
I don't know. I honestly don't know because he's not the best answer for winning these games. You could win the games with Brian Hoyer, like you said. They're the same quarterback. So honestly, I don't know why he's still in the game. Give Stidham a shot. Maybe you can catch lightning in a bottle with him, and he can go out and have a good rest of the season. But I don't understand why Cam Newton's still a quarterback, especially after this week. If they say next week against the Jets that Cam Newton's a starter,
They
I don't
already
understand.
did.
They already
huh?
did.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
I don't
they can
understand.
say that he made some strides compared to the 49ers and Denver game, sure, but he literally lost in the game. And, that's his goddamn MO. He's a loser.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say it. I'm sorry to shit on him so badly all season, but fucking A, man, he's a loser. And the reason I'm thinking that they're thinking to next season already was all of the above. They haven't made any moves. They've come out and basically said, look, this is the year we're resetting our cap. And if they had any faith in Jarrett Stidham, he'd be starting. They'd be playing let's get a look at Jarrett Stidham and see what he's all about. I have to think they already know what he's all about.
What the fuck?
I just saw that moment.
Holy shit! Where
was a
that just
full-on-
came out?
that
Dude,
was
that
a
just
full-on
came out of
punch.
nowhere. The guy was standing still. What the fuck just happened?
That was a full-on punch.
Sorry,
And
Rich. I was paying attention.
I'm
until I saw
trying-
that.
that's
I
fine.
was
No,
like,
All I see is fucking Mike Tyson behind you.
I saw it too. Look, they're in Nolans. Anything can happen. Anything can happen in the Dirty Bourbon.
No, they're in
They're
Chicago.
in Chicago.
Oh, is it Chicago?
Yeah,
Iraq.
Same thing. Yeah, it's all going down everywhere.
Yeah.
Again, it's voting day tomorrow, so good luck for all of you out on the streets. Go for anyone that's friends with Bill. Get to the stronghold. Get to Billy Baratheon's place. He's
Fight
got
the horse
strapped-
first.
Yeah,
Fight the horse
he's got-
first.
He's got an army of Tinder girls strapped to the nines with guns and thongs, and he's ready to defend himself and anybody that's willing to pay him enough money. So
That's
Queen's
right.
Landing. Queen's Landing will be protected.
the Queen's Landing, Billy Baratheon is ready to defend. All right, Bills over the hump, officially over the hump for good. Best team in the AFC East moving forward. What do we think of the Bills?
For this year, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're the best team in the
Next year's every
AFC
year.
East.
I think by default they're the best team in the AFC East. Dolphins on Sunday creamed the Rams. Tua got his first start, got his first touchdown. Everyone is creaming over Tua. But if you go
didn't
look
play
at some of that,
good.
he stunk.
He did not play good at all.
He stinks. How many of these guys are going to come into the NFL and not succeed for someone to get the picture? Lamar Jackson lost the game to the Steelers because he can't throw successfully enough to win games like that, which is the games you have to win Super Bowls. Like, how many of these fucking Michael Vick clones are we going to see for people to get it? It's not going to work. So I'm glad he's in Miami. I hate Miami. I think I hate Miami worse than any franchise in the AFC East.
Really?
No, the Jets.
I don't give a shit about the Jets. They're not good enough to hate.
I hate the fucking Jets.
All right. Well, that's a story for another day. All right. Let's get to around the NFL. Obviously, we got Saints, Bears behind me. We're recording this Sunday evening. What did you guys take out of the 1 o'clock games or anything up to right now?
Go ahead, Ray.
Joe
Your boy.
Burrow starts his resume
Rookie
as
of the
one
year.
of the top 5 quarterback in the NFL in the next 5 years. He beat Bills Tennessee Titans, demolished Bills Tennessee Titans. Suck it, Billy. Suck it good.
It was a good game. I mean, he definitely played good. I mean, he's kind of lived up to the hype. I mean, they're not winning games, but man, he's throwing for 300 yards every game. He's going to get killed. Cincinnati's still going to fucking kill him. Let's just hope he doesn't get hurt. I mean, I don't hate Joe Burrows. I just like giving you shit and say he's going to be a bust because he's your guy, Ray. But I mean, he's shown. I mean, Tennessee back-to-back losses now. You know, you're losing to a bad team there. But like Pittsburgh, I think you're seeing Pittsburgh be the best team in the NFL. You know, you're 7-0. You're the only undefeated team. Baltimore was.
We're not there yet, Bill.
You said around the NFL.
He is. Yeah, I do. Well, let me get your thought on serious. Let me just say this about that game, that Cincinnati game. Ray, we did not say Joe Burrow was not going to be a good quarterback. We said Cincinnati Bungles were going to ruin him and cause him to be a bust. So for listeners listening, we had a bet a long time ago. We never did a show about it. Ray believes that Joe Burrow will be a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. And how many years did you say?
5.
Okay, which is a stupid
bet because we're going to forget about it.
5 years. And we said that
The ledger doesn't forget.
it'll take like less than a year, maybe 2, for the Bengals to absolutely destroy him, either on the field or off the field. So that's
So far,
what we
so
have.
good.
So far, he's looked good. But yeah, they're on pace to destroy him.
Oh yeah.
Physically, mentally, emotionally, they're on pace to end Joe Burrow, the same way they ended Carson Palmer. So, Bill, Steelers, best team in the NFL, you think?
Yeah, I think so. But they, you saw Baltimore run all over them. They're supposed to be the best run defense in the league, and Baltimore, I think, rushed for over 200 yards. You know, Edwards had almost 100 yards. KJ Dobbins, whatever his name is, had almost 100 yards, and then Lamar had 70 yards. So I mean, they ran up and down the field on Pittsburgh, but Pittsburgh held tough, and you saw again Lamar Jackson when he needs to throw the football, he can't do it. You know, you saw that on 4th and 3rd. He didn't even look to throw the football. He just took off and got sacked, fumbled, or didn't get sacked, but he shorted the line, fumbled, and that was your game right there. But yeah, I think Pittsburgh is they're showing they're tough. They're a tough team, but that offense, Pittsburgh's offense, I don't think Ben's been playing good at all. You know, that team's strength of the defense, but they played well today to beat Baltimore on the road.
I just give you the teams that the Steelers have beat? Week 1, Giants, suck. Week 2, Broncos, suck. Week 3, Texans, suck. Week 4, Eagles, suck. Week 5, demolish the Browns,
suck.
Kind of suck. Titans don't suck. Turn a little back into a pumpkin here. You know, they're not a 6-0, 7-0 type of team. But obviously that's a good quality win from the Steelers. And then obviously on Sunday, a nice win over the Ravens. But, you know, those first 5 wins were suck. So I'm not saying that they're terrible. I'm not saying that they're bad. I'm just saying that defense, the number 1 defense in the NFL, you got a little bit of a 2019 Patriots defense kind of thing going on. Where they haven't played shit. They haven't played anybody, and they're racking up those stats a little bit. And we saw it on Sunday against the Ravens. They can be exposed a little bit, but if you don't have a quarterback, then you're shit out of luck. And as bad as Ben has been, he's still Ben Roethlisberger. Like I still have faith in Ben Roethlisberger
Knows how to
making
win.
a ballsy fucking throw like he did on Sunday, making a ballsy throw when he needs to win a game, and that's going to be the difference maker. That's why Russell Wilson and the Seahawks have my vote. Steelers have my vote. You know, anybody with that big time quarterback, I'm going to elevate them in the playoffs over anybody else who doesn't. So.
And Ben's not watching porn anymore, so that elevates his game.
He's got Jesus, baby. He's got Jesus. The other thing, Dalvin Cook went fucking nuts today. 4 total touchdowns.
Packers don't look that good, Bill.
Nope.
Well, I think they're iffy, man. They're the Packers. Like they're
still
up and down every week for Aaron Rodgers' entire career.
Once Aaron Jones comes back, I think you'll see them play a little.
The
better.
Vikings were just 1-5, and they just lost to the Vikings.
Well, they lost to Dalvin Cook. Let's be real here. It was the Dalvin
Also, the
Cook
Vikings
show.
almost beat Seattle in Seattle. The Vikings are another team that are just underachieving dogs that show up.
And they tried to give it away. They tried to give it away.
Yeah. All right. Very good. We'll see. We'll see how the rest of the AFC shakes out. Actually, so if Steelers are give me your quickly off the top of your head. Sorry, I didn't send this to you. Power rankings in the AFC moving forward. So Bill, you got Steelers at 1. Ray, you got anybody else at number 1? Or are you with us on the Steelers?
Steelers. I think Steelers are the best team in football.
So are we going? Where do you go there? Titans or Ravens? Number
KC.
2.
I'd put
KC.
Kansas. I'd put Kansas City. They shellacked the Jets today, which we all kind of knew was going to happen. But I put them at number 2.
Yep.
I do too. I like the Ravens better, but I like Mahomes better. So I can't
Mahomes,
contradict what I just said. But I've been saying it all year. I think KC is going to disappoint a lot of people pretty quickly in the playoffs. And you've seen it this year. I mean, you almost lost to Brian Hoyer if you didn't shit on his pants 2 times.
They started slow against the Jets too. You know, the Jets. It was 14. That was a 14-9 game. You know, in the second quarter, and then KC just asserted their will on offense. I mean, they're definitely number 2, and I'd probably slide Ravens right in at 3.
Steelers, KC, Ravens. You got Titans coming up next. Where the Titans fall on that?
I'd probably put Titans at 4.
I put the Bills at 4.
I like
Really?
I like the Titans a little bit more than the Bills. I think their defense is a little bit overrated. You saw the Patriots run for almost 200 yards against them today, 188. I like Tennessee's offense too. I think Tennessee's got a lot better offense, even with Ryan Tannehill, and I think their wide receivers are great. And then obviously you have Derrick Henry, who is a fucking stud. So I'd just flip flop and I'd put the Bills at 5 from your list, Ray.
Where do you put the Colts? I might put the Colts above the Bills. I think the Bills are fake. My Bills, as we all know, on Sunday social hour, we were all assigned our loser cities, and I have Toronto plus Buffalo. Ray has DC, and Bill has Phoenix. So my Buffalo Bills, I think, are very, very overrated. You just saw them squeak out a lucky win against the shitty Patriots, barely get by on 9 fucking field goals or whatever it was against the Jets, and get trounced by Kansas City. Didn't even put up a fight. So I think the Colts are a tougher team. I don't trust Phillip Rivers, but I think they're a
Good win
tougher
this week too. Though, on the
team
road.
than the Bills. And I'd bet Colts over Bills at this point. So I guess for me, Bills land at 6.
I'd probably put the
or
Colts right
wherever.
at 6. Yeah,
Yeah.
they'd be.
You
Because
could be a
Tennessee's
toss-up
got to
there.
be the 4th.
Tennessee
Yeah,
would be
I
fine
agree.
for me. I'd be go Bills, Tennessee. I mean, obviously you can flip flop them, but I'd go Bills, Tennessee.
Why are you so high in the
Colts
Bills,
had a good
Ray?
win this week too.
Why are you so high in the Bills, Ray?
I don't know. I think they just got the monkey off their back, so I think they're gonna be rolling now.
That was not a joke, Bill. All right, moving on to the sport that doesn't quit. Baseball. Baseball very, very dead to us. JD Martinez.
Bill just perked up when you said baseball.
JD Martinez, with no surprises,
baseball.
opting in after his worst season, if that's what you want to call it, in, I don't know, 3 or 4 or 5 seasons, ever since he got on the map. And $38 million guaranteed over the next 2 years for the Red Sox. What does this look like, Bill? Was just the COVID year for him? Did he say fuck it, or he wasn't able to use video? Remember that. So does he round back into form at least a little bit over the next 2 seasons, or the Red Sox look to ship him out? Where does JD Martinez land in the 2021 or 2022 Red Sox, if we have a strike, which we're expecting to have in baseball because it sucks?
I mean, I think he's on the team. $38 million over 2 years is pretty reasonable. I mean, it's $18 million a year. So, I mean, I think that's nothing in this day and age, especially for a guy that can hit 330 with the 40 home runs and 100 RBIs. I don't take any stock into this COVID year at all. Especially on a bad team. He didn't look good. It was only a 60-game sample. So he could have had a bad first 60 games and then tore the cover off the ball after that. So, I mean, I don't put a lot of stock in this. I think he's part of this team. I think he's the anchor in your offense. You're looking at your number 3 or number 4 hitter. I mean, again, he's still one of the top hitters in the American League. So, I mean, for $18 million a year, I think it's completely worth it to keep him.
Ray? Sorry, go ahead, Bill.
No, I'm good. That's all I was
Ray, any thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. Keep him. I mean, from all accounts, Carabas tweeted out the other day that the Red Sox can be big spenders this offseason. So if you can keep JD Martinez for $18 million a year, I mean, go after some other big names.
Alex.
Yeah,
Morgan.
you just have to to hope that Springer's been the name bouncing around, and the
New England guy. I like George Springer a lot.
I like Springer a lot. I like the dude that they almost got from the Marlins, who was on the Braves, Ozuna.
Oh yeah,
is that who they were after a couple years ago? Either way, so my idea of JD Martinez, obviously, it's a question mark for me. I'm with you on the fact that it was a COVID year and he probably didn't put everything into it, which sucks. Honestly, I get you have a shitty team, it's a bad year, but you're a professional. Go out there and fucking play. But that leaves a little sour taste in my mouth. Well, yeah,
it hurts his market too because the NL. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but
but we said that.
Hurts his market. No, hold on. It hurts his market too because the NL just got rid of the universal DH for this year.
No, they didn't. They have to vote on it again.
But it's probably going to happen because the NL, most of the NL owners want to get rid of it. So I mean that shrinks his market again. So I mean you saw it again, and he alluded to it right after the season. He's like, it's going to be hard to get money in the offseason. I don't think he would have got $38 million. I think it would have been more likely if you saw an NL team. Arizona traded for him a couple years ago because they wanted to make a run when he left Detroit. So, I mean.
Yeah, his market was going to be diminished anyway because of COVID and everything else and the way that he played and, and acted. That's going to knock it down. And then now, with the news in the NL, sure. But, yeah, for me, it's the question mark. You got to come back to form. But, yeah, you do need someone to hit. You do need someone to hit, and you are the Boston Red Sox. You really should not be taking a dip into the worst team in baseball for more than 1 year at a time, which is what they did this year, which is fine, whatever. But next year, if, like you said, Ray, they're going to be big spenders. You should have Chris Sale coming back mid-year, maybe end of the year.
If you're lucky.
You should be going out to get some top-end pitching. And if you combine that with some of the young guys that we saw, you might have a little something there. So you're going to need run support, and JD Martinez has been the best at that for several years here. So yeah, no surprise there. I expect him to be on the Sox next year. Alex Cora, spoken to multiple times, and they have put the Red Sox as Red Sox manager. They've also put some other names and feelers out there into the media. Is that bullshit? I always thought Alex Cora was coming back. Bill, you had some doubts at some point, but Hinch went to the Tigers. Tony fucking La Russa went to the White Sox. So
that would have been a good spot for him, Cora, to the White Sox, the young team. You saw what he did with the Red Sox.
But doesn't that scream that the Red Sox already
got him?
He's bagged. He's tagged and bagged.
The only reason I had some doubt was just because he's not Bloom's guy. You know, he
Yeah,
was
understandable.
Dabrowski's guy, but I mean, the owners like him, the players all like him, and I think we all kind of agreed that when he got suspended that he was probably coming back because Detroit did have some interest, but went with AJ Hinch, which is kind of weird because it's a young team. You know, I would have Cora, I think, does better with the young guys because he's still like 45. He's still.
Sorry, I just saw
Yes,
the
young
replay
guy.
of that guy getting
Yeah.
fucking
Oh
popped
yeah.
by him.
So I mean, you saw what again? He got along great with the younger guys here in Boston. Mookie, Xander Bogaerts, Rafael Devers, all these guys. Christian Vasquez. So I mean, I think he's coming back.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah, I think everyone had the same opinion all along. It was a handshake deal as he walked out the door when they had a fire.
Because they didn't fire him, he resigned. So I think
Yeah.
it was one of those things like we'll save face, just resign. They probably, I mean, he wasn't getting paid clearly, but it was probably one of those things. All right, you're going to come back because they love him. You know, John
Yeah.
Henry loved him as a player and now as a
They
manager.
probably gave him a couple opportunities to make some money somewhere, some organization, some fucking place. John Henry's got a lot of money and a lot of hands and a lot of businesses. Like go be a consultant down in Puerto Rico, handling relief funds, and we'll pay you, six figures down the big 6-figure salary down there.
He'll
for the
get a
year.
bit more money too because when he signed his deal, he was only making like 800 or 900,000. Now he's going to make a couple million coming back with his World Series champion, and we'll see. I think Ron Renicky was a boob, and then you saw kind of the coaching moves that they made. They kept a lot of Cora's guys, so it was all indications as soon as they got rid of Renicky.
He's coming back. Do you think he'll get more? You think? I mean, I get he's a World Series champion, but he's also a disgraced cheater that had to leave the game for a year.
Yeah,
He
he'll
has a ring.
get a raise. He's got a ring. He did a fucking fantastic job. Everything he touched worked.
First year, second year he sucked. Second year he came back real cavalier and
with the
got them
same
off to a
team.
very
That's
bad start.
That's what pissed me off last year because you basically brought back the same team outside of Kimbrell. The whole fucking team was back, and you guys shit the bed like that. It pissed me off. I don't think it was necessarily Cora. I thought a lot of the players, I think they just had that World Series hangover. Even Mookie didn't start really hitting until mid-July to late August.
I got to disagree with that. If you remember the spring training reports out of there, they said, we're taking all the pitchers slow because of – we're not letting these guys throw over 84 miles an hour or the fucking stupid shit it was. And then, they started off that bad start, and it wasn't until like mid-June where Cora kind of turned it and started getting on his players a little bit as opposed to standing up for his players, which signaled a turn for me, and they responded a little. It was just too late. So, but I think he learned. He's a young manager. He's a first-time manager. So I think those are some of the things that he'll learn from, and I like him as a manager. I think he's a good manager. I think that he's the best fit for the Red Sox, and especially, your young guys that you're going to rely on in Bogaerts and Devers. Those are, and I'm sure Verdugo will fit in just fine with fucking Alex Cora.
I'm sure they'll love him.
All right, boys, that was talking Red Sox. Last thing, little bit of news. Sorry.
No.
Sorry. What did I forget?
Forgot, who just?
I'm sorry, Big Mac. Here's your moment in the sun here. Dustin Pedroia reportedly is working on a. I don't know if it's going to be a. He's going to retire and he's going to come off the roster for the Red Sox. I don't know if they're going to settle on his. Okay, well, whatever the situation is, Big Mac has been calling for Pedroia's head for some reason. Hates Dustin Pedroia. And here you go. Here, the floor is yours. The floor, Dustin Pedroia, no longer a Boston Red Sox pretty soon, reportedly.
For 3 years, he's struggled on this team. He hasn't been able to come off the bench because he's been injured. It's time to go off and sail off in the sunset. Go on your little boat, row away. And now the time has finally come. And I am one happy man because you know what? You've just been eating up your money. You know you can't play anymore. You know your career's over. It's finally time. And he's finally admitted to himself, hey, I don't have it anymore. Thank God he's no longer a Boston Red Sox.
Ray, would you call Dustin Pedroia a small man or average size?
Average size.
Okay. Just want to get that off your chest. Okay, you feel better?
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to say thank you, Dustin Pedroia, for all of the hard work you've put in. You are one of my favorite Boston Red Sox players to root for. If you can't root for Dustin Pedroia, who the fuck can you root for? Ray, you are a bad person.
Terrible person.
Lastly, this is just for me, and maybe you guys get
I
kick out of it as well. Obviously, anyone who listens to the show knows how much I personally despise Kyrie Irving as a person, player, what he did for the Boston Celtics. I think you guys are not far behind me. News out of the NBA over the weekend. Mike D'Antoni, who was recently fired as a head coach for, I think, the 4th or 5th time after not.
Didn't he step down? I don't know
He
if
might
he's-
have stopped there from
I-
the Rockets.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
I think
sure.
he resigned, but I think it was
Yeah.
like a you're gone.
Yeah,
Because
he
Daryl
stepped-
Morey just left too. He's in
Yeah.
Philly now.
He stepped down. He signs on to the staff of the Brooklyn Nets with Steve Nash as the head coach there. Or if you were to ask Kyrie Irving, just a guy with a whistle, because they don't have a head coach in Brooklyn. They're all going to work together. And this perennial all-time loser, Mike D'Antoni, joins that staff. And those characters and poor goddamn Steve Nash, that poor friendly Canadian Steve Nash, is going to get railroaded in this dumpster fire of a Brooklyn fucking roster.
They added
It's going to
Amari
be beautiful to
Stoudemire,
watch.
too.
I
They have
cannot
yeah.
wait.
Yeah,
Can't
Mari
wait to watch.
Stoudemire. Here comes the fucking 7 seconds or less Suns. I mean, that's you're seeing what they're going to do. Now you have another non-coach on your team. But I mean, it's a good for say what you about Dan Antoni. At least he can coach. Steve Nash is on his first coaching job, so at least it brings some veteran presence there to help him out. I mean, it's smart for the Nets as like
Bill,
a team.
it would be
but
argued
Kyrie's
that
a cunt, so I guess it doesn't really
D'Antoni
matter.
cannot coach. He has had some of the most talented rosters in NBA history and has done squat with them.
I'll disagree.
Pretty
He
sure
can
he's
coach
never-
offense. He can coach offense. He can't coach defense.
Yeah.
All his teams are like they win 148 to 142 because the other team just scores just as much. They
Okay,
can't-
but that's not even offense, Ray. That's just principle. He says, fuck defense, just run and shoot threes.
Yeah.
That's not Phil Jackson running the triangle. That's we're not going to pay attention to this end of the floor so we can exert all our energy on this end of the floor. That's a philosophy, and his philosophy stinks, and that's why he loses all the time. He's never won dick.
He might
I
have
don't even
won
think he's ever
one.
made the championship.
He might have if Amari. Remember that year against the Spurs? We got a little fight. Robert Horry hip checked someone, and then fucking
It was Steve
Amari
Nash.
Stoudemire, literally took one step, and they're like, "Oh, you came off the bench," so they suspended him for the next
Yeah,
game,
I do
and then
remember that.
they lost that. They lost both of those games, and that was it. That was their downfall. They had a good team that year. I forget what year it was. 07 maybe. Something like
Steve Nash's
It
MVP
was the
year,
Steve
too.
Nash year,
yeah. So I mean, you saw it. They might have went far because if it was the year, I'm thinking they beat. That was that the Cleveland year or something because there was a year when San Antonio beat Cleveland in a pretty shitty year. I think it was like the 05. I think it was right around there. I don't remember the exact year, but
I don't know. I
they
don't
swept
know.
Cleveland. They could have beat. They could have made it, but I think he
Whatever.
sucks. He's a
I
loser.
mean, if we're digging at straws to get one example of a team after having some of the most talented rosters, I just look beyond Mike D'Antoni, who's now going to be on this bench, and maybe his philosophy doesn't come all the way through to Steve Nash and other. Their philosophies, their ideas, their coaching, their demands, none of it matters because Kyrie Irving said it doesn't matter, and Kevin Durant is right along with them, stretching his thumbs, fighting with Twitter trolls as they completely
On his burner
dismantle in Brooklyn, and it's going to be beautiful. I
Does he
cannot
even
wait
use
to
that burner
watch.
account anymore because everybody knows he has it.
Well,
I think
probably
he
made
has.
a new one.
I think he has 100. Like he has come out and said, "I have hundreds of burner accounts because I like fighting on Twitter."
Burner
Hey.
accounts are pretty fun.
Just a baby back.
I don't
bitch.
knock him. Yeah, he's a baby back bitch, but I think it's hilarious.
It is hilarious, but what does it say about you as like a professional and an athlete and a competitor and a player if people can get into your head like that and make you snap? Like,
Yeah.
I just think that translates onto the floor, and you're carrying all this baggage that you couldn't get it done in OKC, so you join a 73-win team to go get your championship, and yeah, you were the MVP, but you were next to one of the greatest teams of all time, and now you go to Brooklyn, and you got to deal with Kyrie and his flat earth telling him he doesn't have a coach. I can't see this not blowing up in a fiery dumpster of poo and caca in Brooklyn
Oh, it will.
very, very quickly. Very quickly.
Oh yeah.
All right, this has been Monday Headline Simple Minds Sports Show, November 2nd. We'll see you tomorrow, Fat Tuesday, Everything Patriots. Bye-bye.
I.
See if Rich can get back on that streak of dates in a row, right?
Well, this is
One.
only for the end. I think I got the beginning wrong, right?
Yeah. You got the beginning way wrong.
Oh, one day.
A day.
Okay. What would be not way wrong? A day and a half?
No,
a half a day?
Half a day. If you said it
How
was
do I
noon,
do that?
When you say it's noon, but it's really midnight.
Oh, okay. Welcome to Semi Sports Show. It's noon. It's 12 o'clock noon.
Oh, no.
November
It's midnight.
2nd. Oh, shoot. Sorry, it's midnight.
Let's see. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Streak continued.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. Nailed it. All right, I'm just going to start saying it's noon in every date. That way, if I get it wrong, it's only half wrong.
Yeah, there you go.
Fine.
I'll allow it.
All right, good.
You'll forget this by Tuesday.
Yeah, definitely.
Gonna forget it by later tonight.
Yeah, it's already gone. Huh?